Hello, my name is Donald Cruz, and I am majoring in history. Now, I know that it is never a good idea to keep pets as peeves. They are hard to train and even harder to domesticate. I do, however, have one that my wife gave me many years ago. It was in the dark ages before high speed internet and smartphones, back when all we had was dial up internet. I wanted to take my 3 year old daughter on her first trip to Disney World. Of course, like any good husband of the time, I was going to go on that new internet contraption and make us some reservations for our trip. My pet peeve was born. My wife did not trust new technology. She liked to do things the old fashioned way. I mean, that is what this new computer world is for, to make life easier. My wife did not trust this new internet service. She was scared that Big Brother would take over our minds and steal all our personal information. In short, my wife wanted to do it the way we always did. Just pull up to the hotel, go to the desk clerk, and write our names in the ledger book. Hotels used to write down your info back in before they had computers, for all of you that did not know that. So I was going to show my wife that she had no need to fear the new internet, as it was a powerful tool and was going to change our lives. Okay, so strike one. Everywhere I looked on the internet, there were no rooms in the inn. Hotel after hotel showed no availability. I thought this rather odd that this would be. Perhaps there was a reason. My wife took this to mean that the hotels were not using the internet, but were instead doing it the old way because they also did not trust the internet. It was so frustrating to get the "I told you so" comment every few minutes. I knew better. I am a great planner. I am the master of my destiny. I often think back to the past and wonder what it was like for people to saddle up those horses and cross the great plains to the unknown. Did every husband worry about how mad his wife was going to be if he didn't get that spare wagon wheel checked before he left? Were the comments of "Are we there yet?" No need for reservations back then, no internet, and no hotels. It was a real hassle. And after many hours of searching, I had to admit that the internet was not putting on the great show that I thought it would. Hotel after hotel turned up with not even a broom closet to stay in. I knew that I had been defeated. It was at this point that I was sure my pet peeve was going to grow up big and strong. It was at this point that I was afraid to admit that maybe my wife was right. When a wife is right, by the way, you will live the rest of your life remembering that day, because it was so lovely and magical. Do not despair, true believers. This story does have a happy and a sad ending, but it is all for the good, I promise. You see, I never did manage to make those reservations. Trying as hard as I was able, I could not prove to my wife that technology was a lifesaver. We had embarked on our vacation in anyway, and education was on its way. My wife, bless her heart, was wrong. Yes, I said it, she was wrong. I was wrong too. Yes, it is true, we were both wrong. Now I know you're thinking to the contrary. How could the internet be wrong? Little did we know that it was trying to reveal to us secret knowledge that would profoundly affect our trip and our enjoyment of it. If we had done things the way my wife had suggested, we would have still had no room. But if we had made a simple phone call to the hotels that said no reservation, we might have found out why there were no rooms. The internet is a tool, and when used properly, it is powerful, even in the beginning days. You see, it was a lovely weekend in February that we decided to make our little trip. The weekend we chose, it seems, was very popular for driving cars around in circles on this paved track thing. I can't really remember, but I believe they called it something like the Daytona 500. I'm sorry. As my wife was proofreading this, she informed me it was the Daytona 500. You see, folks, I was wrong. I let my peeve cloud my judgment and didn't dig deeper. I let frustration rule my decision making. In the end, we did find a room, and that is another wild story on its own to be told another time. Sadly, after many years, my pet peeve died. My wife did not feed it. Turns out she liked technology after all. I don't miss my pet peeve though. Like I said, they are hard to train and even harder to domesticate.